they can see everything. And besides that, they have all these copper dots. We think that this is the antenna, and they are able to broadcast from the fiber optics to the antenna and from there to somewhere else.
In March 2025, a mysterious metallic sphere crashed into a quiet town in Colombia, leaving the world stunned. No scenes, no markings, just a cold, smooth object from the sky. What followed was beyond belief. Glowing symbols, strange vibrations, and a structure that defies all known science. Experts are now forced to confront a terrifying reality. What if this isn't just an object? What if it's a message, or something even more dangerous, waiting to be unlocked? The Boogosphere has arrived, and its secrets could change everything we know about the universe.
There have been spheres found before, and in the United States, special forces thugs go in and get them, and people have been killed possessing them. Very smart that you keep it safe.
In March 2025, a strange event occurred in the small town of Booger, Colombia. A mysterious metallic sphere, unlike anything seen before, appeared in the sky, drawing the attention of locals and researchers alike. The object, which has since been named the Boogosphere, seemed to descend from the heavens, and the discovery has sparked a series of investigations that continue to this day. What makes this sphere so unusual is its smooth, seamless exterior. Measuring approximately 10 to 15 cm in diameter and weighing only 4.5 LD, the object defies conventional understanding. There are no visible seams or welds, features typically found in objects that are manufactured by humans. The lack of these usual markers has left experts puzzled about its origins. Initially, it was assumed to be some sort of technological artifact, but further investigation has revealed far more perplexing details. On the surface, the sphere appears to be a simple, metallic object. Its shape is perfectly round, resembling a bowling ball, and its cold exterior raises immediate questions. Regardless of the ambient temperature around it, the sphere maintains an unnaturally cold temperature to the touch. This alone sets it apart from any known manufactured material, but the real mystery lies within. Internal scans of the object, primarily X-rays, have revealed a surprising structure. Inside the seamless exterior, researchers discovered 3 concentric metal layers, with 9 small microspheres arranged in a specific pattern. This elaborate internal architecture suggests the object may be far more sophisticated than it first appeared. The microspheres appear to be embedded within the metal layers, each one positioned with precise accuracy. This has led many experts to believe that the sphere is not merely a random object, but a carefully constructed device, possibly designed for a specific purpose. In the early stages of the investigation, there were several theories about the sphere's origins. Some suggested it might be a piece of alien technology, given its mysterious appearance and the lack of any visible signs of human craftsmanship. Others believed it could be a relic from a lost civilization, a piece of technology far more advanced than anything we have today. However, no conclusive answers have emerged, and the object remains shrouded in mystery. What makes this discovery even more intriguing is the recent reports that the sphere is not just a static object. Instead, it appears to be interactive in some way. According to researchers, the sphere has shown signs of activity, with unusual energy readings and strange symbols that have appeared on its surface. These symbols seem to glow faintly, further adding to the enigma. The sphere has also been reported to have internal movement, which has been detected during scans. This suggests that the object may not be as inert as it first appeared. Perhaps the most fascinating development came when researchers began to experiment with the sphere's surface. They noticed that the engravings on the sphere resembled ancient symbols, similar to runes or other forms of ancient writing. In an attempt to understand these markings, the researchers decided to take a different approach. Instead of treating the symbols as text, they analyzed them as frequency patterns. They hypothesized that these markings might be a form of communication, not through language, but through sound frequencies. The team played a low-frequency hum specifically tuned to the exact angle of the carvings. When they did, something unexpected happened. The sphere briefly vibrated in response. This reaction wasn't random, but seemed to be a direct response to the frequency, as if the sphere was actively listening. This discovery was significant because it suggested that the sphere might be responding to external stimuli, and possibly even trying to communicate in its own way. Specialized equipment used during these experiments detected a faint bluish light pulsing from the sphere's core during the interaction. This light, visible only under infrared scanning, appeared to emanate from within the object itself. The presence of this light suggests that the sphere may contain an energy source or some sort of internal mechanism that responds to specific acoustic triggers. This discovery raises more questions than answers. If the sphere is indeed interactive, what does it want to communicate? And more importantly, who or what is it trying to communicate with? Dr. Velasquez, a radiologist who initially examined the sphere, noted that the internal architecture of the object was unlike anything he had ever seen before. The three concentric metal layers and the mysterious microspheres inside suggested a level of sophistication far beyond current human technology. He expressed astonishment at the complexity of the object, stating that it was unlike anything he had encountered in his career. The possibility that the sphere might be responding to external stimuli led some researchers to propose even more radical theories. Could the sphere be some sort of ancient, dormant device that is only now beginning to react after centuries of inactivity? Some scientists believe that the sphere could be part of a quantum-encoded locking mechanism, potentially activated by specific conditions or signals. If this is true, then the sphere could represent a technology far more advanced than anything we currently understand, perhaps something designed to remain dormant until the right conditions arose. The more the sphere was studied, the more unusual its properties seemed to be. One of the most perplexing aspects of the object was its seemingly indestructible nature. Despite attempts to subject it to various tests, the sphere remained intact, showing no signs of wear or degradation. Its surface remained perfectly smooth, without a single scratch or dent, further suggesting that the material was not like anything known to modern science. As the research into the Boogosphere continues, more and more questions arise. What is this object? Where did it come from? Is it a piece of advanced technology, an ancient artifact, or something else entirely? With no concrete answers yet, the mystery of the sphere deepens. Researchers and scientists around the world are eager to learn more, and the quest to unlock its secrets is only just beginning. The discovery of the Boogosphere has left us with more questions than answers, and its true purpose may be far more extraordinary than anyone could have imagined. One of the most remarkable developments occurred when the team began to study the symbols etched onto the surface of the sphere. These markings, which resembled ancient runes or other forms of cryptic writing, had puzzled linguists and archaeologists alike. The symbols did not correspond to any known language, and the team initially struggled to make sense of them. Some speculated that the markings were simply decorative or perhaps a form of symbolic representation, but others believed there might be a deeper meaning behind them. Instead of continuing to treat the markings as mere text, one of the archaeologists on the team proposed an entirely different approach. He suggested that the engravings could be analyzed as frequency patterns rather than as written words. This idea was based on the hypothesis that the markings might not be designed to convey meaning through language, but rather to interact with sound waves or other forms of energy. The theory was bold, and the team wasn't sure what to expect, but they decided to give it a try. The archaeologists used specialized equipment to emit a low-frequency hum, carefully tuned to match the precise angle and positioning of the carved symbols. As the sound waves resonated through the sphere, something unexpected happened. Witnesses reported that the sphere briefly vibrated in response to the frequency. It was as though the object itself was alive and reacting to the sound it was being exposed to. This was a groundbreaking discovery, and it raised a host of new questions. The reaction was not random. It appeared to be a deliberate and purposeful response to the specific frequency. The sphere seemed to be listening, or at least reacting to the sound vibrations. This was not something that had been observed with any other known object, and it suggested that the sphere might be far more advanced than anything we currently understand. Perhaps it was designed to interact with sound or other environmental factors in a way that is still unknown to us. Even more compelling was the discovery that the sphere emitted a faint bluish light from its core during the interaction. This light was only visible through infrared scanning, adding yet another layer of mystery to the object. The subtle glow suggested that the sphere might contain some sort of energy source or mechanism that is activated by specific external stimuli. This was a major breakthrough, as it hinted that the sphere might not just be a passive object, but an active device with a purpose. Dr. Velasquez, the radiologist who had initially examined the sphere, noted that the internal architecture of the object was unlike anything he had ever seen before. When his team conducted scans of the object, they found that the sphere contained 3 concentric metal layers, each with a distinct function. Between these layers, they discovered 9 small microspheres, arranged in a precise pattern. The arrangement of these microspheres suggested that the object was not simply a random collection of materials, but a highly engineered device with a specific purpose. This intricate internal structure raised a new set of questions. Why were these microspheres positioned in this particular way? What was their function? Could they be responsible for the sphere's unusual response to external stimuli? And, if so, what could that imply about the object's purpose and origins? These were the questions that began to drive the research forward. As the experiments continued, the team made another startling discovery. The sphere seemed to be reacting not only to sound, but also to other environmental factors. Temperature, light, and even the proximity of certain materials appeared to have an effect on the sphere's behavior. It became clear that the object was highly sensitive to its surroundings, and its responses seemed to be tied to specific conditions. This led to the hypothesis that the sphere could be some sort of sophisticated device, perhaps even a tool designed to gather information or interact with the environment in ways that we have yet to fully understand. What made this even more intriguing was the fact that the sphere had remained dormant for so long before these responses were detected. For months after its discovery, the sphere had shown no signs of activity. But as the researchers began to experiment with different methods, the object seemed to awaken, responding to the various tests and stimuli in increasingly complex ways. It was as though the sphere had been waiting for the right conditions to trigger its activation, and once those conditions were met, it began to respond. In light of these new findings, the team began to wonder whether the sphere's inactivity had been intentional. Could the object have been designed to remain dormant until specific environmental conditions were met? If so, this would suggest that the sphere was not a random artifact, but rather a carefully crafted device with a purpose. Perhaps it was meant to be discovered at a particular time and under specific circumstances, and only then would it begin to reveal its true nature. The possibility that the sphere contained active mechanical components was suggested by the discovery of subtle internal movement. One of the most fascinating moments in the investigation came when the research team noticed that one of the microspheres inside the object appeared to have shifted position. This movement was detected through infrared scans and was confirmed by comparing images taken before and after the sound frequency experiments. The microsphere had moved by approximately 3 m from its original position, an unsettling development that suggested the sphere was capable of shifting its internal components in response to external triggers. This discovery led some experts to propose that the sphere might be part of a quantum-encoded locking mechanism. The idea was that the microspheres could be part of a complex system that required specific conditions, such as sound frequencies or temperature changes, to unlock or activate. If this theory is correct, it would mean that the sphere was not simply an object of passive interest, but a highly advanced piece of technology designed to interact with its environment in highly specific ways. The internal movement of the microspheres raised additional questions about the object's construction. If the sphere contained active components, how were they powered? What kind of energy source could sustain such delicate mechanisms, especially given the sphere's cold exterior? These questions remained unanswered, but the evidence of internal movement was difficult to ignore. It was clear that the Boogosphere was far more complex than initially thought. With the sphere's response to sound frequencies and its internal movement, the mystery of its origins deepened. Was this an alien artifact, a piece of technology from a distant civilization, or something else entirely? And why was it showing signs of activity now after lying dormant for so long? These questions led researchers down new avenues of investigation, and the quest to understand the Boogosphere was only just beginning. As the research continued, the team made another key discovery. The sphere's interaction with its environment was not limited to just sound or temperature. It appeared to be sensitive to light as well. When researchers exposed the sphere to different light sources, they observed that the object reacted in subtle ways, emitting faint pulses of light from its core. These reactions were not random. They seemed to correspond to the intensity and wavelength of the light being used. This raised the possibility that the sphere was designed to interact with light in specific ways, further suggesting that it might be an advanced device with multiple functions. The more the research team uncovered, the more apparent it became that the Boogosphere was not just a static object. It was a dynamic, interactive device capable of responding to a wide range of environmental factors. This opened up new possibilities for its purpose and origin. Could it be a piece of technology designed to gather information about the environment? Could it be part of a larger network of devices, each designed to respond to specific stimuli in different locations around the world? The evidence suggested that the Boogosphere was far more than just a curious object. It was an active, sophisticated piece of technology that might have been waiting for the right conditions to reveal its true nature. Whether it was designed to communicate, gather data, or serve another purpose entirely, the sphere's behavior suggested that it was part of a much larger mystery, one that could ultimately reshape our understanding of technology, history, and the universe itself. The discoveries made so far have only scratched the surface of what the Boogosphere might be. The object's ability to respond to specific frequencies, light, and temperature suggest that it is a highly advanced piece of technology, possibly from a civilization far more advanced than our own. However, the sphere's origins remain unclear, and its true purpose is still a mystery. As researchers continue to explore its many secrets, it is becoming increasingly clear that the Boogosphere is not just an object. It is a key that could unlock new discoveries about the world around us, and perhaps even beyond. One of the most intriguing discoveries was the connection between the Boogosphere and ancient records. A document recently uncovered from the Vatican archives has left many experts astounded. Dating back to the 17th century, this Jesuit map includes a reference to what it calls the 9 spheres of arrival. These spheres are marked at specific locations across the globe, and to the shock of many, one of these locations corresponds exactly to where the Boogosphere was discovered in March 2025, Booger, Colombia. This discovery raises some profound and unsettling questions. How could cartographers from the 1600s have known about a location that would only come to be known to the modern world hundreds of years later? The map suggests that the Jesuits had knowledge of these spheres, which appear to be linked to something much greater than the simple discovery of a mysterious object. What did the Jesuits understand about these spheres, and why did they mark them so specifically on their maps? Were they aware of the Boogosphere or other similar objects that would be discovered in the future, or was the reference in the map merely coincidental? This historical reference has led to a theory that the Boogosphere may not be an isolated object, but part of a global network of similar spheres. These objects, if they exist, might be designed to communicate with one another across vast distances, potentially spanning centuries. Some researchers even suggest that the spheres might be part of a larger system that transcends time, with the Boogosphere representing just one link in a much more complex network. Adding another layer to the mystery, geospatial analysts began to examine the exact location where the Boogosphere was found. What they discovered was truly remarkable. The coordinates of the Boogosphere's landing site align precisely with ancient ley lines, energetic pathways that are believed to connect significant archaeological sites across the globe. These energy pathways, which include locations like Tijuanacu, Nazca, and Santa, are known for their megalithic structures and astronomical alignments. The statistical probability of the Boogosphere randomly landing at this intersection of ley lines is astronomically low. The precise alignment of the sphere's landing site with these ancient energy networks suggests that its location was not by chance. It raises the possibility that the object was intentionally placed there, along with other potential spheres, to interact with these ancient sites. This opens up the possibility that the Boogosphere, along with others that may exist, is part of a system designed to work with the Earth's natural energy flows. These ancient pathways are not only of interest to archaeologists and historians, but also to those who study the mysteries of energy and magnetism. The discovery of the Boogosphere's alignment with these ley lines could indicate that the object is not only linked to the past in a historical sense, but also to the Earth's energy network. The implications of this connection are still being explored, but it suggests that the Boogosphere could be more than just an artifact. It could be a device that interacts with the planet's natural forces in ways that science has yet to fully comprehend. The mystery deepened further when researchers began to examine the environmental data collected around the site of the Boogosphere's landing. It quickly became apparent that the sphere wasn't just an unusual object. it seemed to have measurable effects on its surroundings. Sensors placed in the area detected significant geomagnetic fluctuations within a 100-meter radius shortly after the sphere landed. These fluctuations weren't minor variations, they represented substantial deviations from the normal electromagnetic field readings for the region, suggesting that the Boogosphere was emitting some kind of energy that affected its environment. Local residents also reported strange phenomena in the days following the sphere's appearance. Perhaps the most noticeable and perplexing of these was the behavior of the local wildlife. Birds in the area completely abandoned their usual resting spots and flew away from the vicinity of the sphere. This kind of behavior is typically associated with animals sensing unusual environmental changes, such as the presence of electromagnetic fields or other disruptions. It suggested that the Boogosphere was having a profound impact on the local ecosystem, causing animals to react in ways they wouldn't under normal conditions. But the effects weren't limited to wildlife. Electronic devices in the area began to malfunction in unusual ways. GPS signals in the vicinity became erratic, and location services showed jumps of hundreds of meters, disrupting navigation and communication systems. One technician working at the site reported that his smartwatch completely reset itself when brought within several meters of the sphere. The watch, which had been functioning normally, suddenly went black, then rebooted to factory settings. Despite the reset, no data was lost. The device simply restarted itself as though it had experienced a system crash. These unusual electronic disturbances led researchers to hypothesize that the Boogosphere could be emitting localized electromagnetic bursts. These bursts could be a natural property of the sphere's unusual composition, or they could be part of a reactive defense mechanism triggered when the object is disturbed. What was especially striking about these electromagnetic fluctuations was how precisely defined the area of influence appeared to be. The effects were concentrated within a roughly 100-meter radius, with little to no interference beyond this area. This suggested that the Boogosphere was not merely radiating electromagnetic energy in a random or chaotic fashion, but rather in a controlled and purposeful manner. The implications of this discovery are far-reaching. If the Boogosphere is capable of generating these kinds of electromagnetic disturbances, it could be part of a much larger system that has the ability to affect the planet's energy fields in a localized and controlled way. This raises questions about the true nature of the object. Is it a device designed to interact with the Earth's magnetic fields, or is it something more profound? Could it be part of an ancient system designed to manipulate or monitor the planet's energy? These questions become even more pressing when considering the possibility that the Boogosphere is not the only object of its kind. If there are other spheres hidden around the world, each one potentially capable of emitting these electromagnetic pulses, then what might they be intended for? Are they part of a larger communication system designed to be activated when certain conditions are met? Are they tools for monitoring the Earth's magnetic and energy fields, or do they serve another, more mysterious purpose? Perhaps the most startling development in the investigation came when a video surfaced online, showing what many believed to be the Boogosphere actually splitting open. The footage, which was captured by several witnesses at the site, showed the sphere briefly separating along an invisible seam. As it opened, a faint interior glow was visible, accompanied by an audible resonance. This discovery added another layer to the mystery. Was the Boogosphere opening physically, revealing something hidden inside? Or was it simply reacting to an external stimulus? The precise nature of the event is still under investigation, but what is clear is that the Boogosphere is not simply a static object. It seems to be capable of altering its structure, responding to specific environmental factors in ways that no known human-made object can replicate. Adding to the intrigue, scientific equipment in the area detected unusual pulses or tones at the exact moment the sphere exhibited this behavior. These sounds, which were captured by wildlife monitoring devices designed to record frequencies beyond human hearing, did not match any known natural or artificial source. The audio signature was structured in a way that suggested it was not random noise, but rather an encoded message or signal. This discovery led to further speculation that the Boogosphere might not be just an object at all, but a form of communication device, capable of transmitting data or signals in a way that we have yet to fully understand. One particularly radical theory emerged from fringe researchers who suggested that the Boogosphere might not be an artifact or technology at all. Instead, they proposed that the object could be a living entity composed of a material that behaves like a biological system. This theory was based on the unusual properties of the sphere's outer surface, which appeared to modify itself in response to environmental factors. If true, this would completely redefine our understanding of what constitutes life and technology. Could the Boogosphere represent a form of living metal, or a hybrid between machine and organism? And if it is alive in some way, what does that mean for our understanding of artificial intelligence and non-biological life forms? The more the researchers learned about the Boogosphere, the more apparent it became that this was no ordinary object. Whether it was an ancient device, an alien artifact, or something else entirely, the Boogosphere was proving to be far more significant than anyone could have imagined. It was not just a static piece of technology. It was active, responsive, and capable of interacting with its environment in ways that challenged our understanding of the natural world. As the investigation continues, it is clear that the Boogosphere represents only the beginning of a much larger mystery. What other spheres may exist, and what secrets do they hold? Is the Boogosphere part of a network of objects designed to communicate across vast distances and timeframes? Or is it something far more complex? A tool or device that interacts with the Earth's energy fields in ways that are still beyond our comprehension? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The discovery of the Boogosphere has opened the door to a new realm of possibilities. One that could change everything we know about technology, history, and the universe itself. One of the most compelling theories that has emerged in recent weeks is that the Boogosphere may not be a piece of advanced technology or an ancient artifact, but rather a living organism, or something that blurs the lines between biological life and machine. The idea that the sphere could be made from living metal, or a self-modifying material, is a theory that has gained traction among a small group of scientists. Their findings suggest that the sphere's outer surface behaves in a way that resembles biological systems rather than traditional manufactured materials. When exposed to heat or cold, the surface of the biosphere shows an unusual response. Unlike conventional metals, which expand and contract in predictable ways, the material of the Boogosphere appears to spawn and grow in non-linear patterns in response to thermal changes. This behavior is unlike anything that scientists have encountered before, and it suggests that the Boogosphere's composition is not made of traditional metal alloy. Instead, some researchers are now considering the possibility that the sphere is composed of a form of programmable matter, a material that can alter its structure at the molecular level based on environmental conditions. What makes this theory even more intriguing is the potential connection between the Boogosphere's behavior and the idea of living metal, a concept that has long been explored in science fiction but rarely considered in real-world scientific research. The idea behind living metal is that the material itself is able to grow, heal, and even learn from its environment in a manner similar to biological organisms. If the Boogosphere is, in fact, a form of living metal, it could represent a breakthrough in our understanding of materials science, as it would challenge everything we know about how objects are created and how they interact with the world around them. This new perspective on the Boogosphere has led some researchers to revisit the ancient symbols and markings that are etched into its surface. If the sphere is indeed alive in some way, it is possible that the markings are not merely decorative or symbolic, but are part of a system that communicates with the object. Similar to how DNA encodes instructions for biological life, these markings could represent a kind of frequency code, a set of instructions that trigger specific responses in the material, much like how a living organism responds to its environment. This would explain the sphere's reaction to sound frequencies and other stimuli. It is not simply a machine that reacts to external forces. It could be a biological system with its own set of rules and behaviors. The idea that the Boogosphere could be a form of living technology has profound implications for the way we think about artificial intelligence and the boundaries between organic and inorganic life. If the sphere is in fact a living entity, albeit one made of metal or synthetic material, then it raises the question of what it means for something to be alive. Could technology evolve to the point where it is indistinguishable from biological life? And if so, what are the ethical implications of creating or interacting with such beings? These questions are still far from being answered, but the Boogosphere's potential to blur the lines between biology and technology has sparked a wave of debate and speculation among scientists, philosophers, and ethicists alike. While some researchers are pursuing the theory that the Boogosphere is a living entity, others have focused on the idea that it might be a tool or device of some kind. One particularly compelling hypothesis is that the sphere functions as a data storage device. capable of encoding and transmitting information using quantum interference patterns. This theory is based on the idea that the Boogosphere's internal structure, its concentric metal layers and microspheres, could be used to store vast amounts of data in a way that is far more efficient and advanced than current digital storage technologies. Quantum computing has made tremendous strides in recent years, and some experts believe that the Boogosphere may represent a form of quantum data storage that has been encoded using a technology far beyond our current understanding. This would explain some of the unusual properties of the sphere, such as its ability to respond to sound frequencies and environmental changes. If the sphere is capable of encoding and decoding information at a quantum level, it could be a tool for communication or data retrieval that operates in ways that defy conventional understanding of electronics and materials science. This hypothesis is particularly intriguing when considering the idea that the Boogosphere might not be an isolated object, but rather part of a larger system, perhaps a network of similar objects designed to communicate with one another over vast distances and time frames. If the Boogosphere is indeed a data storage device, it could be part of a much larger system of encoded information, a network that spans the globe or even the universe. The possibility that these spheres could be used for intergalactic communication or data transmission is a notion that has captured the imagination of many researchers. But even if they are not part of a galactic network, the idea that the sphere could be a tool for transmitting vast amounts of data across time and space is nothing short of revolutionary. As the theories surrounding the Boogosphere continue to evolve, one of the most exciting possibilities is that the object is part of a much larger, ancient system. The connection between the sphere and historical records, such as the 17th century Jesuit map that marks the location of the Boogosphere, suggests that the object may not be a recent discovery at all. Some researchers speculate that the Boogosphere could be a relic from a long-lost civilization, or even an artifact placed on Earth by an advanced extraterrestrial race. The idea that such a civilization could have created a system of interconnected spheres designed to interact with one another and communicate across time is a fascinating and humbling thought. In addition to these radical theories, there is also the possibility that the Boogosphere is part of an elaborate, hidden project that has been kept secret for decades. There have been reports of the sphere being handed off to a private technology firm shortly after its discovery, and the subsequent lack of public updates about the object has fueled speculation that it is now part of a classified research program. If this is the case, then the Boogosphere could represent a technology so advanced that it has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of energy, communication, and even propulsion. There are even rumors that the object might be connected to black projects, secret military or scientific endeavors that operate outside the bounds of public knowledge, but the silence surrounding the sphere's fate has only deepened the mystery. It is clear that whoever is studying the Boogosphere now has recognized its extraordinary potential. Whether the object is being reverse engineered to unlock new technologies, or whether it is being studied for more esoteric purposes, the secrecy surrounding its research only adds to the intrigue. One thing is certain, the Boogosphere has captured the attention of governments, private companies, and researchers worldwide, and its true nature may be more significant than anyone can imagine. As the mystery continues to unfold, the Boogosphere remains a symbol of the unknown. Its origins, purpose, and potential remain shrouded in secrecy, and the theories surrounding it continue to evolve. Whether it is an ancient artifact, a piece of advanced technology, or something entirely new, the Boogosphere represents a breakthrough in our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The investigation into the object is far from over, and as more data is gathered and more discoveries are made, the truth about the Boogosphere may change everything we thought we knew about the world around us. The questions raised by the Boogosphere are profound and unsettling. What if this is just the beginning of a much larger story, one that will challenge the very fabric of reality as we know it? What if the Boogosphere is not just a discovery, but the key to unlocking a new chapter in human history, one that will forever alter our understanding of science, technology, and the cosmos? Only time will tell. But one thing is for certain, the Boogosphere is no ordinary object. It is a puzzle that has only begun to reveal its secrets, and as more pieces of the puzzle fall into place, the true magnitude of this discovery may become clearer than ever before.